Thank you, sir. I particularly want to appreciate the convener of this event, Jerry Akise, and also all protocols observed. I'm just going to take it from a different angle because I believe that there's a gap, in the area of leadership, that we're facing, not just in Nigeria, but in African countries in particular. And everything rises and falls on leadership. Even in this occasion, you can see that it's not just a leadership gathering, but things are flowing smoothly. So it shows that some things have been put in place to make it work. And I want to say that even for the incoming administration, this is a moment, a golden moment for them to really make a difference. Nigerians have experienced all forms of leadership, but what we realize is that there's a deficit in terms of trust. Some people feel that, look, is this just going to be the same old thing again and again? And so the expectation is very high. And I believe that the leadership that we must have now should be compassionate leadership. Compassion. In terms of caring. People don't care who is there. They just want to see that the leader cares. The leader has that connection, with them. Just like my colleague shared, talked about vision. When the vision is clear, but there should also be clarity in terms of to show that you have a heart for the people. Nigerians have been through a lot, and so we're so expectant, and we just need that kind of leader that is compassionate. When we talk about Jack Conde, I was a beneficiary of Jack Conde's educational policy. I went to St. Nicholas College, and then our parents didn't even pay school fees. We had school 1, school 2, school 3. The child of the rich and the child of the poor, everybody was together in the same class. So there was a lot of excitement, and we could see a caring leader. Then secondly, I think this new administration should also focus on the youth. A lot of people here, I believe that we've been beneficiaries of, policies of Awolowo, Western region, and so on and so forth. And when you look at the Japa syndrome, Professor Lupi was talking about his own children, schooled abroad. I remember when I also was privileged to school abroad, maybe about 25, 27 years ago. And when I finished in the masters, one of the things I told my dad was I wanted to come back to Nigeria. He said, no, Nigeria is unstable. And he almost discouraged me, but I insisted, and I came back. But I think what is most important is that we also have to unlock the youth, the potential of the youth. Nobody is excited that their children is abroad. I'm relevant here than to have masters and PhD and still be abroad. We want, a country where people in diaspora, they want to come back home. The youth, they're doing things in nations. We talked about somebody that just became mayor in America. In nations of the world, even in the Biden government, we have the assistant, the Secretary of State in terms of Treasury. So they're all over the place. Nigerians are in the Parliament in the UK, but they want to come back. When you look at youth unemployment, it's almost about 60%, in Nigeria. So if I know the policy document is also looking at how they can encourage creativity. So leadership should pay a lot of attention to the youth. It's a low-hanging fruit, for the incoming government. Then I also believe that the third point is tolerance. You see, the truth of the matter is that when you come into leadership, you should expect criticism. And I think what has happened, in this environment is that, particularly in Africa, our leaders don't like to be criticized. once you have a different view, they see you as, somebody that is not on their side. And any leader that wants to do well must be able to even have channels of feedback to know, am I doing well? Because if everybody is saying you are doing well, and somehow, when it comes to the reality and you are not doing well, it's just, you must have people in places that can elicit the truth, and get you the real truth. Because once you get into leadership, leaders, what they find is that they become isolated. They become isolated from reality. And that is, that the incoming government should, be tolerant. They should be tolerant of opposition. They should create platforms where, they encourage feedback. Then finally, I think also for leadership, I think somebody talked about the rule of law. Nothing happens without the rule of law. What has made, developed countries of this world work is rule of law. When you respect the rule of law, it engenders growth. Because if institutions, we have weak institutions, you have the judiciary, you have the legislation, if they are weak, it won't encourage productivity. And even foreign direct investments, they won't see it coming in as much as it ought to be, because they look at, in terms of the rule of law, is it in place now? So I just believe that this point, I believe that even it's not exhaustive, but I believe that even the new administration, if they can take it on for Nigeria, I believe, particularly for the youth, we will begin to see less of Japan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.